Usually I do sing along with the theme music, or scat along, I guess you could say, but I didn't do it this time. I was waiting for the camera to behave itself.
Well, stupid, what are we waiting for?
Oh, we're waiting for the piano to be tuned up for a truly bizarre movie from the mind of Theodore Geisel, better known as Dr. Seuss.
I like him. He's silly.
He is. It's the story of young Bart Collins, whose widowed mom has forced him into taking piano lessons, lorded over by the dictatorial Dr. Terwilliger.
He's a creep.
He is, and after his complaints fall on deaf ears, including those of a kindly neighborhood plumber, Bart enters a weird dream world where Terwilliger rules and is enslaving 500 boys to play his immense piano, with Bart's mom hypnotized into serving him, and with multiple non-piano playing musicians locked in his dungeon.
That is so mean.
Can Bart, with the help of that plumber, rescue his mom and free the 500 boys slated to become the 5,000 fingers of Dr. T?
Oh, come on, stand back, folks, here it comes. I pity the fool who don't practice the piano.
I figured we get the Mr. T joke out of the way early. You'll notice a lot of Dr. Seussian touches to this film, for which the good doctor wrote the story, screenplay, and song lyrics, but the studio felt a lot of his script was too subversive and rewrote it, watering it down to more of a kid's movie.
Why must they always ruin it?
Well, Dr. Seuss hated the end result, calling it a fiasco, and was angry that the studio eliminated 11 of the 24 musical numbers he'd written, and he probably hates the fact that since this movie is way too long for the usual amount of program time we have minus commercials, we've had to edit some of the songs and content.
You don't know what you're doing.
Sorry, Doctor. As I said, this is a pretty bizarre film, but we wanted you to see the movie that made Dr. Seuss swear off ever doing another live-action film.
Oh, this is just like one of those bad dreams.
And quite honestly, being so upset by what they did to his creation, you can guess that Theodore Geisel would take legal action because if mad you make him, he will lose. Because when he's angry, Dr. Seuss. See what I did there? Oh, I'm going to get hit in the face. And here's the 5,000
The
figures.
first and only Dr. Seuss movie made by the man himself. This movie is not very well received in certain circles. There, that's better. This is one of those movies that you either love it or you hate it. And thankfully, I love it. I first read about it in this horror movie book that my brother got me for Christmas one year. Horrors from Scream to Screen by Ed Naha. They didn't really go into detail about it. They just said it was indicative of a child's nightmare, which it is. And I was always curious about it for years afterwards, and it finally turned up on maybe some of you remember TNT's 100% Weird, which was right up my alley, and it showed up on there, and I was just like, this is awesome, this is amazing. I loved it. You could see hairstyles by Helen Hunt. Dang, girl. It's indicative. It kind of reminds me of where Tim Burton got a lot of his ideas from. It's good. I happen to like it. It used to show up on TNT's 100% Weird, and one of the area video stores actually got it on VHS, and when they closed, they put all their videos up for sale, and I just marched right in there and snatched it up, along with Willie McBean and his Magic Machine, and a couple other titles, I think. Those are the two I remember. I wanted to get the DVD of Ginger Snaps, the special edition. They had the Ginger Snaps special edition DVD, but somebody got there ahead of me. But it's okay, because I got it on eBay. I bought it on eBay, so I was okay. Got my Marco's Pizza Pepperoni Magnifico, and Walmart started selling Crystal Pepsi again. I'm very happy. Yes, my bed's unmade. And I've got my barbecue sauces down there, also from Walmart. Got 2 other bottles of Pepsi, so I'm good. And
Get away! Get away! No! Go away! Run away!
Here, boy, here. What's the matter?
Dr. Terwilliger, what happened? What's going on around here?
Dreaming again. I can't leave the room for 5 minutes. What were you dreaming about this time?
I was being chased by a big bunch of men with nets.
Nets. Why can't you dream about practicing the piano?
I'll try.
Don't you realize if you don't practice, you'll never become a concert pianist? Practice makes perfect.
I'm trying to practice.
1 month to get these learning from my recital. 1 month before I present all my pupils in a grand concert. And I'm not going to let one dreary little boy humiliate me. Do you understand?
I don't think the piano's my instrument.
What other instruments are there, pray tell? Scratchy violins, screechy piccolos, nauseating trumpets, etc., etc.? We'll make a Paderewski of you yet.
Who?
Paderewski.
Oh.
Now I want you to practice and practice and practice until you are perfect. Good day, young man.
Hans Conried rules. Conrad. He rules. He was the voice of Captain Hook
That's my problem. Dr. Terwilliger's
and
the only enemy.
Snidely Whiplash.
I can't think of one nice thing to say about him. Because there
He was awesome. As always, I'm following along with the other regulars on the Sven blog comment section, and earlier I posted these memes that I made throughout the week with Dr. T.
Or visit SoClean.com.
And if they ever made Harry Potter back in the day, you can just see him as Professor Snape. I can teach you how to bottle fame, brew glory, even put a stopper in death. I don't care what you say anymore. This is my life. This is when I first found out that he was rerunning Dr. T. This is me, looking forward to the 5,000 Thingers of Dr. T Saturday.
American Home Shield.
There is a fine line between genius and insanity.
Cornfield, Anthony. Wrong kid.
I have erased that line.
5,000 Fingers of Dr. T and...
This one's mine too. I want you to watch the 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T Saturday night. The meme's so nice, I posted it twice.
It's not bad. Not good. Still not loud enough. Still not fast enough. Rhythm still off. Still misses the beat.
They say I don't play well with others.
It takes years.
I say it depends on who they are and what they want to play.
Take forever.
What? The number 2 spot?
This is interesting. This was posted to the blog by Tommy7.
She wouldn't keep me in a place.
According to Hans Conried's biographer Suzanne Gargiulo,
I can try.
the first draft of the film had some rather dark ideas. Dr. T originally had a magic saber that he used to cut the heads off incompetent henchmen who rose again as headless zombies. Mrs. Collins's cage was going to be suspended above Dr. T's bed, and she would have recited rhymes declaring her loyalty to the doctor. The finale was going to feature Bart Collins perform a song that would have encouraged the twins, Johnson and Whitney, to strangle Dr. T to death with their beard. That would have been cool. Maybe they would have, maybe then everyone would have a better opinion of it.
Collins speaking. No, madam, most definitely not.
Though I can't understand why they made Dr. Seuss cut it. Make it more of a family comedy.
Dr. Terwilliger believes only in the piano.
It still would have been cool. I would have liked it.
This final batch just isn't-
They should turn this over. They should turn this over to Tim Burton and see what he can do with it.
Would you say they were happy?
He would have been awesome.
They should be gay, carefree, happy fingers. Fix the
Hee
machine
hee.
and stay up all night.
I wasn't in much condition to have a little post-movie discussion last night. I have a good. I ate good last night. I finished off. I had 3 pieces of my pizza left, and I'm gonna. I usually save the free cheesy bread for later in the week. I had one bottle of Crystal Pepsi left, which I finished off tonight. I finished off the pizza and the Crystal Pepsi. It's just some things that they've been on my mind a lot lately, and I just wanted to touch on them a little bit. I'm currently putting together my Wizard World video. I went there a little while ago and I recorded there, and I'm in the process of putting that together. Geek culture has become more acceptable, which is good, but only certain parts of it are acceptable. You know, the parts that are considered trendy, you know, they're the ones that are more fashionable. The trendy, whatever's trendy in geek culture, you know, like Game of Thrones or Doctor Who or the Marvel movies, which is fine. You know, I really don't have anything against all those. I've been a Doctor Who fan for since the early 80s. I've never watched Game of Thrones. I was at a gaming store in Joliet and they had it on in the background, but that's as close as I've ever come. I don't really watch the Marvel movies. I mean, I'll watch them if they're on, but there's nearly not a whole lot of movies I watch, period. It has to be something specific, something that grabs me, and I'll go see it. I'll probably go see Captain Marvel when he comes out. Maybe Venom too, if I'm feeling it. Last night's movie. It is considered. It's considered a cult movie, but apparently not a lot of Sven's audience seems to care for it very much. I guess it's not considered. There we go. They don't really think of it as a movie that belongs on Sven's show. It's not scary enough, I guess. Well, like I said, it's supposed to be. It does have a certain surreal, nightmarish quality to it. And I did read the description of how they described the original concepts that the studio made him get rid of, and they put in the love interests and stuff and made it a more family musical, which Dr. Seuss did not care for. In fact, when it was finished and it was released, he disowned it. But its reputation has built over the years. They just don't think it's a movie worthy of Sven, I guess. But at least nobody got attacked. I mean, yes, people on the blog and on the Facebook groups, they were vocal in their dislike for this movie. They couldn't really say why, though. All they just kept saying was, I really hate this movie, I really hate this movie. But at least they didn't attack those of us that do like it and appreciate it for what it is, which I consider myself one. And that's a good thing. They do keep an eye on that in the blogs and on the Facebook groups. We had a fellow last week who got into the comments section on Sven's blog and he was very insulting. And he was trying to talk politics, which we do not do while we're watching the movie. And he was eventually dealt with, and Sven always tells us to be respectful, because he knows too. It's that he showed this movie earlier this year, and it wasn't well received then. I was very pleasantly surprised that he got it. I was thrilled, because I hadn't seen this movie in years. But I've noticed that in some circles of fandom, you like or dislike a certain movie, or you're critical of a certain facet of fandom, the geek culture, you will get shut down. You will get run off. You will get blocked. And sometimes you will get the crap beat out of you. People will laugh. Well, that'll learn you to keep your big mouth shut. Happened to a fellow at Gen Con. He runs a YouTube channel, Quartering. He's got two of them. The Quartering and Unsleeved Media. His name's Jeremy Hambling. Yeah, he got attacked at the bar outside the convention, all because he's been vocal about his dislike for certain things that have been going on with Magic the Gathering. And he actually got beat up for it. He's been doing well, though. People have come to his defense and have been supportive of him. He has filed assault charges against the guy who attacked him. Some wacko, SJW wacko, who runs a gaming store in wherever, Connecticut? I don't know. I'm not thinking straight right now. It's 10:54. And I'm trying to stave off a headache. I don't quite have a headache yet, but it looks like it feels like it might become one. Because how there's like a storm watch. Well, this is sort of like a headache watch. So I took a couple of Excedrin PM, and I just wanted to get this out. I just wanted to do this before I shut down. But I am thankful that the Sven Gulli groups are respectful. Heck, there are some people, a while back, Sven showed a whole month of Godzilla movies. Who hates Godzilla? Well, they don't actually hate him so much. It's just like a whole month of Godzilla movies. Come on. I watched it. I ate it up. I love Godzilla. Some people don't like it when he shows a month full of Godzilla movies. Next week he's showing some Killer Bee movie. By the look and feel of it, it must have been made for TV. Those aren't really always my cup of tea. Like the Killer Bee movies, or the... What else do you have? The Attack of the Ants were attacking this resort. The one I really didn't care for was Barracuda. The Barracuda weren't even the main threat in the movie. This covert government group was putting something in the water of this small town to lower the people's blood sugar. Try to use low blood sugar as a chemical weapon. And somehow the water was affecting the Barracuda, and yeah. I guess you just have to see it to believe it. Yeah. At least it wasn't Beware the Lake. Yeah, that's this one movie it's a good thing I rented it for free, because there's just no way I would have paid to see that thing. This girl, she's new in school, and she runs afoul of the queen bee and her entourage, and what was it? They took her out to the lake. Yes, there was actually a lake in this movie, believe it or not. And they just left her out there, and she had these two local idiots attack her, and they ended up killing her. And then the girl's aunt that she lived with, who was basically this dollar store version of Sylvia Ganesh from Drag Me to Hell, she put a curse on them and had her niece come back as like a revenant, and she bumped them off one by one, and it was no, never again. Never again. I actually bought the thing. They had it for sale at Family Video in Manuka, and I actually bought it to spare someone else the agony. I said, there's only one other person I would entrust with this. And I took it with me to Wizard World. I gave it to Brad Jones, the cinema snob. You can see what he would do with it. I am thankful, because I have had that happen to me before. There used to be this place in town. They would have a movie night, and the lady that owned it, it was her idea. She actually tapped me to bring in some of my movies, that we could watch, and it really did not work out. People just weren't interested. And I ended up getting run out of there. At least I don't think I've had the crap beat out of me over stuff. I've had the crap beat out of me over stuff, but nothing like that. Unless it was so terrible I blocked it out, which is entirely possible. But the Sven groups are good for the most part. They may not care for a particular movie that Sven shows, or they may not care that he shows like a whole month of them. I still can't get over that. A whole month. They didn't actually like a whole month of Godzilla movies. The mind boggles. Especially when it's tired. And it's been given Excedrin PM. Thank God I don't have to go to work tomorrow. I have my Mondays off, and tomorrow is Labor Day. So yes, I am actually getting paid for my day off tomorrow. Me. I'm going to go to Buffalo Wild Wings and get my fast break lunch. Got my laundry to do. Got some writing to do. Still listening to the Doctor Who audio CDs, The War Doctor with John Hurt. I was hoping, because Alien Entertainment was going to be, they were at Wizard World, but they didn't bring any of the War Doctor, they didn't bring any Big Finish audios with them, which was surprising, because I just wanted to get the fourth and final War Doctor box set, and they didn't have any of them. And none of the CDs, which was kind of surprising. But I'll get it. I will get it eventually. I don't know what I'm going to listen to after that. I'll think of something. I'll see what they've got. They've got good stuff. But that's pretty much it. So, thank you for listening to my ramblings. It's always appreciated. Thank you for visiting my channel. That's always appreciated. Thank you for watching my videos. Have a happy Labor Day tomorrow, or whenever you're watching this. And we'll see you next time. Good night.